Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the breakdown of the Elementor widgets. Now in another video I actually put together these two sections right here, kind of showing you how to actually work the Elementor widgets like live. So basically you can see me dragging it in, doing the edits and all that good stuff. But before I show you guys how I actually use those widgets to create this, I wanted to do a quick breakdown on the Elementor widgets and so you can get a better understanding of what they are and how to go about utilizing them when you are actually trying to use them in your design. So first things first, go ahead and make sure you are already in the Elementor backend, which I am. I'm going to show you by pulling out our little widgets over here. I do have other videos where I showed you how to install Elementor, how to install Elementor Pro, so go check those videos out if you do not already have Elementor installed. If you already have it installed, let's hop right into it. So I'm going to take this or these two sections that I've created to give you a further breakdown. Okay, so the first thing to note is that you will have different types of widgets over on the left hand side. Okay, so depending on what plugins you have, like for me, I had to install this HT slider when I actually installed this particular thing to my website. So that plugin actually granted me 3 widgets. So just for instance, if you install any plugin and they grant you different widgets for that plugin, you will have them here. So this will honestly vary depending on what theme, what plugins, and all that good stuff. But essentially, that's what's on the left hand side. Now, in the new editor, in the old editor, it used to be a Rubik's Cube, so like a little cube that had three rows of 3 dots, and that would essentially be the widgets. That's how you would get to this. But in the new Elementor backend interface, they have this little plus sign and it says elements, and even right here at the top you can see that's what we're looking at, the different elements. Now it's the same thing, you have elements and in those elements you have widgets, and that's what we're looking at right here. But the gist of it is you will have all these different widgets that you can use. Okay, so like we said over here, these are the widgets. So when it comes to anything in regards to widgets, Elementor widgets, this is what they're talking about. These little blocks over here. If we look at the design I have, you will see that I have a 2-column container. So let's just close this. You see that I have information over here on the left, and you see I have an image over here on the right. So in this one section or this one container, I have 2 columns. Left side column with text, right side column with an image. So I'm going to open this back up, and now you will see that I also have a divider, a text images, a text editor, and I have 2 buttons. So if I click on anything and a pink line or box comes around it, you will know that this is a widget. If you notice, when I clicked on it, the left hand side panel changed, and now you see that what I'm editing is a divider, which essentially is a widget. Because if I go back to the widgets and I type in divider, we see a divider is actually a widget. So all I did was drag and dropped it, and as you see, I just edited mine up to make it look a little bit better. Be sure you guys stay tuned for that video because I won't be going over the design in this video. So that's a divider widget, and I did some edits up to that. You will see that I have a heading widget, I have a text editor widget, and I have a container widget down here that I put 2 widget buttons in. And I'm going to show you guys why I went with a container widget and then put the button widgets in there in the next video. And as you see on the right container, I'm using a image widget. So the thing is, whenever you drag and drop a widget over here, they will have their own set of editable things that you can do with it. All right, so a text, the things you can edit and how you can actually get the headers or the text on your website to look different. The editing for this will be obviously different for something like a video or an actual image. So let's just take a look at that right there. So I just told you every time you add a widget on your page, it comes with a content section, a style section, and an advanced section. All right, so let's just take a look at this heading. You will see that I have the content, style, and advanced. If I also click over here on the image, you will see I also have the content, style, and advanced, but the things look a bit different, and it just makes sense, right? Because for an image, you want to drop your image. That's the content for an image widget is, technically just the image, the resolution, caption, link, all that good stuff. But if I click on a heading widget, the content is different because now the content is the actual text. So now I have to put the text in there. Okay, if I want that text to link to something, I can link that, and I can choose the HTML tag for this heading as well, which is good for SEO purposes. All right, so that's the first thing to know. Any widget, because even if I click on the divider widget, it also comes with that content, style, and advanced. Look at this heading widget. Again, I can change the text if I want to add an exclamation mark, I can, and I can delete stuff if I wanted to as well, and that's how you would essentially go about doing the edits of the content. Now if I go to the style of the heading, I have the style for the heading, which is the alignment, the text color, the typography, whether you want a stroke, a shadow, blend mode, all this good stuff. And all you have to do is just essentially just start playing around with this stuff. Again, I can't really necessarily go through each widget and go through each piece because it'll all look the same, and I honestly really would just come around about you just putting the widgets in, because you understand that all of these are just widgets, and then you start to play around with it. So the basics of the basics that I would show you guys in a lot of my videos would be for like a heading widget. If you want to align it to the center, the right or the left, right? Basic stuff. The text color, obviously what color you want this text to be. I talked about global colors in your global settings in another video, but you can just choose your colors, or you can choose from the color picker. And under the typography, I talked about this in a few of my other videos as well. You just have the basic stuff for the typography. So for this heading, what is the font you want to use? And you can choose from a plethora of different fonts that WordPress already have. You can adjust the size of your font. So if I wanted this to be 4, I can go for that. You can adjust the weight. You can transform it to whether you want it to be all uppercase or lowercase and things like that. I'm just going to keep it on that. And then you have the style in case you want to, get a little funky with your text, you can do that. And as well as the decoration, like underline, overline it, align through, stuff like that. Also, you have the line height. So of course, within any text widget, you want to adjust the height, maybe depending on the font. It's a little tight in here. So what I would say is maybe go to about, let's do 70 pixels. Let's do 75 pixels of line height in between my heading text. And you can even do the letter spacing and the word spacing. It's all up to you. So essentially, when it comes to widget, you just need to know that once you drag and drop a widget, you have 3 states. You have the content state, the style state, in the advanced state. Now when it comes to the advanced for this divider, you can see that I added negative margin. Now if I take this away just to show you why I did that, it was a lot of space in this widget. It was a lot of space in the divider widget at the top and the bottom. So what I did was I went to the divider widget, the advanced tab of the divider widget, and I edited the margin. So I put -10, not 100, -10 at the top and -10 at the bottom, just to get rid of some of that space. So now you kind of see the gist of where I'm going with this. So let's even say over here for this image, again, the content for this is going to be different from text, which is also going to be different from the divider. because all of these different content tabs for each one is a bit different. So for the content, obviously you have to have the image. So you just click on it and you drag and drop your image in. For the style, you can start to align this. You can put some border radius. If I close this out, you see my image is actually rounded off because I did that in the style tab of my image widget. So I went down here. If I just put this back to 0, you will see that it's the typical boxed image. Most images are going to be boxed. So for an image widget, going into the style, you can actually adjust different things. And what I did was I adjusted the border radius and made it 15 pixels all the way around, and therefore I got the rounded image. Now, I don't necessarily have to do anything over here in the layout or the advanced tab of my image, but if I needed to, I could do that over here as well. Now, if you do want a little bit more information, let's just say you still don't really get the gist of what I mean when it comes to the widgets. Again, we have another section down here that we created. And in this section, we have, again, a heading widget. It pops up over here. Click on this one, we'll have another text editor widget, and over here we have another heading, and then we have a form widget. Again, going back to the widgets, if you don't see it from scrolling through here, you can always type in for the widget you're looking for. If you're looking for a form, there it is. You drag and drop it in. This is what the form looked like before, but this one is the one that I actually ended up creating. So if I just click on this form widget, again, I have that content, that style, and that advanced widget. So for this one, I know I don't want messages, and I know I don't want the email. I can style it up, and that's what gave me the style here. I got that in my next video. So I'm just going to go over to the advanced tab because I did another thing. As you can see, this form that I created is a bit smaller in size than this one. It's not full width. So how I did that was under the form widget, I went to the advanced tab, and for the width of the form, I went to custom. I put that on 60%, and then I aligned this form widget, because remember we're still in the form widget, and I just aligned it to the center, and that's exactly how I created this one up here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that one, and boom, like I said, that's pretty much it. At any given time, you can come in here and just drag and drop any freaking widget you want. If you want a video widget to be right underneath this heading widget, boom, you can do that. Now all you have to do is click on that particular widget, edit the content, the style, any advanced editors if you need to. Like for this, if I want this to be aligned in the center, I can just do that from the advanced tab here. And if I wanted to work with this video widget, I can just put in a particular video. Like if I want, let's go to YouTube and choose a video. Let's just say I want to use this video, the video from my channel on how to create and edit a page in Elementor. All you have to do is edit the content piece is this video. All right, and then if I wanted to edit the style, I could if I wanted to, depending on how I want it to be set on my page. I can go over here on advanced. Again, if I need to, I can go and edit things over here. And that's pretty much it. So I really hope that this video helps you understand the widgets a little bit better. And if you don't, or if you do need to see me in action with each widget and setting up certain things, I do have the video coming out next where I actually show you guys how I created these two sections using the Elementor widgets and editing it to make it look like my own. If you want to see more in-depth, behind-the-scenes web design content, be sure to join my Discord community, and I will catch you guys in the next one.